All right, we got another Yap Sesh slash things that came across my desk. I got my phone here because most of these things were sent to me. I'm going to start going into Discord, and I want to start a little gossip session. So we have people in my Discord. The link is in the description so that we can have some topics that people can send me so we can talk about this. But these two things specifically were procured by me. And the first one is kind of crazy if you ask me. So a 16-year-old track athlete in California was stripped of her state championship 400-meter title because of this.
I worked so hard for that title.
The greatest moment of 16-year-old Clara Adams' young career taken away from her because of a celebration. After winning the 400-meter event at the CIF State Championships with a time of 53.24 seconds, her dream of winning a state title went up in flames after celebrating using a fire extinguisher.
When she blew the fire extinguisher, the opponents were gone. That was our moment of celebration, and CIF officials made that about them.
The North Salinas High sophomore grabbed a fire extinguisher from her father and coach and extinguished off her spikes. The CIF deemed her celebration unsportsmanlike, stripping her of her title.
More or less, this 16-year-old wins the 400-meter dash state title. It's what every track athlete, I didn't win a state title, not an individual one, did win a couple as a team, but that doesn't matter. That is what every athlete dreams of, especially high school athletes, is winning that individual title. And of course, in her celebration, she had a planned thing that she did. She ran to her pops and her coach. She grabbed the fire extinguisher, she runs over to the thing, and she, like, her cleats are hot, you know, and I thought it was a dope celebration. Is it a little bit excessive, a little unsportsmanlike? Sure, but is it something that you should be stripped of your state title from? Like, the last time I saw somebody get stripped of a title in track is because of doping. I don't really think it was that much of an issue that they had to take her title away from her. I thought that was insane. Now, I come from a long line of relatively brash athletes that did a little bit of excessive celebrations. You know, I played in an era in college football where you weren't allowed to celebrate, and I did a couple of what that almost got me flagged, but the refs kind of let it go, thank goodness, because I'd have gotten destroyed by my coaches. But part of being an athlete, especially in those individual sports, is having a little bit of bravado. She didn't do anything to cheat winning the title. She didn't do anything that was to show up anybody. There was no one near her when she did it. It was alone. She ran to a place where there was no one there, put 2 spurts of a fire extinguisher on the ground, and got her title stripped for it. From what her father was saying and people around, they said that the people immediately grabbed her. You can kind of see it in the footage, which I'm going to show again. And they started yelling at her immediately. They tried to get the track coach for a comment, but he didn't give comment. More or less, it was just told that unsportsmanlike conduct. But there is a rule in place, and I found the actual quote. It says, according to rules established by the National Federation of State High School Associations, unsporting conduct is defined as a behavior that includes, but is not limited to, disrespectfully addressing an official, any flagrant behavior, intentional contact, taunting, criticizing, or using profanity directed towards someone. The penalty is a disqualification from the event in which the behavior took place and further competition in the meet. I understand that the disqualification factor is from the exact time of when you did it. But what I'm looking at here, I'm just going to go over the checklist. Disrespectfully addressing an official, that obviously didn't happen. Flagrant behavior is very subjective. I don't know what they exactly entail, but that's one of those gray areas where I guess you could kind of call that flagrant behavior. Intentional contact, obviously running into somebody. I remember there was one that went viral that a girl hit someone with a baton. Yeah, that is grounds for disqualification and, in her case, assault charges. Taunting, that can be taunting, but taunting is usually directed at another individual and or someone in the crowd, etc. When you taunt something or someone, I know just from football standpoint, when you taunt someone, it has to do with showing someone up. One of the popular things that people used to do when I was in college was they would catch a pass or something, they would spin the ball in somebody's face, and that was a taunting penalty right away. So I don't necessarily know if that was taunting. Criticizing or using profanity directed towards someone, she didn't curse or say anything to anybody. So the only one that you can find the gray area in is flagrant behavior. The fire extinguisher could be called excessive celebration, but again, it was long after. I don't necessarily think she should have been stripped of the title. So again, like they said in the video, Maurice Green was a popular sprinter back in the early 2000s. He was really, really good, and he did the same celebration in 2004.
It's a celebration made famous by American sprint icon Maurice Green, who enjoyed her paying homage to him and thinks she should get her state title back.
According to Maurice Green, who saw it, he thought the celebration was dope, which I didn't necessarily think he wouldn't think so. It was more of an homage. I don't really think it was that big of a deal in order to strip someone of a title. Now, according to this same report, Clara Adams has been running competitively since age 6. She finished 4th in the 400 at last year's state meet and then turned around and won it this year. And to add insult to injury, they disqualified her immediately, so they had the people who actually didn't win the race up on the podiums to celebrate, so she had to just watch it. So even though I guess like in her heart she won the state championship, they did strip her of just being up on that podium for her moment. I know some people are going to look at this and say, oh, well, she deserved it. I don't know what the hell's wrong with y'all, man. To me, I think the proper thing would have been a, like, knock it off or don't do something like that. It was 2 spurts and she was gone. It's not like she ran around with a fire extinguisher spraying everybody, which I think would have been grounds. It was too quick and goodbye from the footage that I saw. I hope that the California board and the people in charge make this right and give this young lady her title back. She earned it with her feet. And I think that it is just a disgrace personally that they took something away from her for something as minuscule as a celebration, which again, you could have reprimanded her, but to strip her of the title immediately over the discretionary penalty just seems a little excessive. I hope that they make this right. And on to some other opinions, which I just found this kind of like, I just want to talk about this one. I know, we were talking about this on stream yesterday, a lot of people go through issues in relationships, and when you have public disputes online, people tend to emotionally just post certain things. And personally, as I've said multiple times, I never talk about my relationships, who I'm dating, or anything of the like, and I don't think it ever dawned on me to resort to anything like this, but a lot of times when people go through things where they're wronged by their partner, they immediately pick up their phone, set up their tripod, and immediately start to post things on TikTok. And I found these 2 things just scrolling across my For You page as well, which I found nuts. So the first one, I got a screenshot, and again, these might be rage bait, but I know some people are actually telling the truth when they do these things, but it's a woman where she is taking a sledgehammer or a golf club or another blunt object and smacking the hell out of, I'm guessing she's saying this is his television, and it says, "Turns out I was right all along. My partner of almost 2 decades, 20 years is a long time though, I'm not gonna lie, is having an affair with his boss, who is 8 months pregnant with another man's child." That is messy. That's kind of messy. I didn't really read this. Both of them are revolting, repugnant human beings. So I just don't understand the immediate urge that people have to set up a tripod. Like, this is a professionally shot video. It's not really a spur of the moment. You had to have put a tripod up because I don't think anybody's holding this by the stableness of said footage, where you wanted to beat the hell out of a television because you're upset. So you set the tripod up, you beat up the television, you write the caption, you edit the video, then you post you have B-roll music and footage over this, and then you post the thing. I don't really understand what the purpose of it is though, because it's not going to change whatever the hell happened to you. I just never understood why people do this. Has anybody ever done that? Look, I've been through bad breakups in my life. And again, I've had public relationships in the past, but even when those things went south and I could have made posts like that, I don't really feel a need to, because even if I expose them for the person that they are, it's not going to change anything that happened to me. I really don't understand that. But then, about 3 scrolls later on my For You page, I came across this. Let me just show you. So as you can see, I'm laughing because he's wearing the same kind of getup. He got the beard and a hat like me, but it says, when you find out your man is, it's not me, bro. When you find out your man is 38 and single, but is 44 and has a wife, a kid, another girlfriend, and someone else is 6 months pregnant with his baby. That's insane. Like, I get the hurt of that one if this turns out to be true. Again, these could be rage bait, but people do truthfully do this. But I saw this, and then, of course, 2 posts later, I run into another post, which is the exact same person, the exact same account, with the exact same picture, but as you can tell, the font on these, one is the shadow font, meaning it has the black background, and the other one doesn't, so it's a separate post. So of course, curiosity got the best of me, and I go to the profile. This entire profile is dedicated to this guy. Whoever this guy is, every post, and it says, "Help expose the predator." I don't even want to say this man's name. This is nuts to me. But again, every post, there are 9 posts in total. He has 517 followers and 47,000 likes because she's exposing some dude on who, I guess he's 38, and she's got a Tinder profile of a guy in one of them. He has a Hinge profile, but apparently he's got a wife. And look, you need to find these people's phone numbers or something, but making an entire profile, look, if you want to make a post is one thing, but a whole profile towards this, that's dedication. But I know we all love Messi, judging by the 517 followers and the 47,000 likes, and the fact that I'm talking about it right now. We do enjoy the Messi, but I in all seriousness, I never really understood the popularity of people having like stuff and deciding that, look, I get we all have emotions, but like putting up a tripod and then like going through like wrecking a television, or the one that I really don't get is when people are crying and they decide, okay, I'm going to turn my camera on and then put a tripod up. Some people have ring lights and lighting and background music, and then they cry for a specified amount of time, usually a caption of some sort, and then they, you know, add some music to it and edit it and then, you know, sound check and EQ it, and then now they post it. I never really understood that. I don't know if it's like the old millennial, old grumpy man Clint Eastwood style in me, that I just don't really get why people do that. Like, yes, we all have emotions and we all are human. And I don't know if you're looking for like empathy or sympathy, but the only thing that you're really going to get from people is eyeballs that are just like, damn, that sucks. And even people that pretend to care, they really don't care. They're just here like most of those 44,000 or 47,000 likes because people like drama. So you just now publicly have drama. And if you go viral for it enough, you'll become the person that's only known for drama. So I suggest seeking like maybe help. I see a lot of things for like BetterHelp, which I guess a lot of people get sponsored by. I'm not sponsored by that. This would be a good segue for that, but it's not a sponsor at all. But, you know, maybe talking to somebody and kind of helping that, because that's only going to make matters worse. I wanted to talk about these two things because they came across my desk. Again, I'm going to start an open dialogue in a Discord. If you haven't joined a Discord and you're one of those Discord people, hop in a Discord. I'm going to try to be a little more active in the Discord now because this is just what it is, man. Let's yap. Let's talk about it. I hope y'all enjoyed it, and we'll make another one soon.